We've all been there. You're standing in the aisle or you're scrolling online and you're thinking, man, do I really have to spend this much money on this running gear? But don't worry, because in this video, I'm gonna walk you through all the must-haves, the nice-to-haves, and the completely skip-it items for running, all based on my miles, my mistakes, to make sure you get the right gear at the right price. All right, that's enough intro. Let's just get into the gear. First up on our list is the trusty running hat. So here's the deal with hats. They don't have to do anything really special. They block a little bit of sun and they need to be a little bit breathable so you don't just trap in all that heat. But no matter what tech they try to tell you is in this hat or sell you on, your head, it's gonna sweat. It's just gonna happen. You're running, come on. So that hat that claims to be ultra ventilated or have some special tech that keeps you cooler, honestly, doesn't really justify the added cost for me. I mainly use my hats as a sweatband just so I'm not constantly trying to like wipe sweat off my forehead. So for me, the hat is just a really easy place to save money. And lucky for you and me, hats like this one I got at the Under Armour outlet are cheap. I got this for like 15 bucks. I've worn it for 2 seasons now. It's held up great. It's washable. It does everything I need and it's 15 bucks. That's pretty cheap in the world of running gear. So do yourself a favor, save some money on your hats and just get a decent cheap one and be done. Next up on our list, we have the fabled running shirt. Again, the thing with running shirts is a good moisture wicking running shirt is a dime a dozen these days. There are just so many options on the market and the price points can get ridiculously low. And if you're a runner, chances are you have dozens of these that you got for free for signing up for a race in your closet somewhere in the bottom. Pull them out and wear them. They work just fine for your daily training. But even if you say, no, those shirts are usually pretty ugly, and you're not wrong, they tend to be quite ugly. Even if that's the case, you can get a decent looking cheap one from your local outlet for Under Armour, Nike, Adidas. Every major brand makes them and they put them on sale and they make them cheap. Go buy those, you'll be fine. You don't need to spend $60 on the Lululemon or the On Cloud or whatever big brand you think is cool. Go get a nice cheap one for your daily training and then get 1 or 2 nice ones for race day when you want to have that really nice race fit. The shirt, it's another place you can just save some money. Coming up next on our list, we have the running short. Now, shorts are actually one place I like to splurge a little bit. And there's 2 main reasons why I splurge on my shorts. Number 1 is pockets, 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 and pockets. And number 2 is I like to run in a lined running short as a guy. It's important, helps keep everything comfortable and where it should be. And the nicer running shorts tend to have a much nicer lining to them. And let me just tell you from my experience, if you buy cheap shorts with a liner that isn't super comfortable and have a nice feel and fit to it, you're gonna be absolutely miserable on your run and you're never gonna wanna go on a long run again because without getting into too many gruesome details that might get my channel flagged, things down there won't feel great and it will be very uncomfortable to run. So by splurging, you tend to get a nicer liner and you get way better pockets for carrying phones, gels, keys, whatever it is you want to bring on your run. You want a good pocket that holds it securely and tightly to your body so it's not bouncing as you run. No one likes the phone slapping your thigh as you're running because it's in a loose pocket. You want it in a nice tight pocket, preferably one that stays close to your body. So shorts are one place I'm willing to spend a little extra money to get a good high quality pair to make sure that I'm comfortable, that my gear stays with me, gets through the run with me without any issues. Shorts, spend a little extra, you'll be much happier. Moving on to your feet. And no, we're not talking about running shoes just yet. We're talking about socks, good old running socks. Lately, I've seen a ton of brands pop up that are offering these top-end luxury socks that are supposed to make running better, more comfortable. I don't know, they claim all sorts of things. But here's my take. There is no way you're gonna get me to pay $20 for a pair of running socks. I can go on Amazon and get a name brand, Saucony for these ones, running socks in a bulk pack for about $2 to $3 a pair. They are moisture wicking, they're form fitting, they hug my feet, they prevent blisters, they move the moisture away from my foot. They do all the things I need a sock to do for $2 or $3 a pair. There's just no way you can convince me that paying 10 times that is gonna make my running experience 10 times better. You just can't. It's not gonna happen. Try down below, try in the comments, try to convince me. There's just no way right now that it's gonna be successful. But try. For me, Socks are a place to save, buy them online in a bulk. You know, you can find, like I said, Saucony. It's a name brand running apparel sock, but it's only $2 or $3. Does the job. I've had no issues. I've run these for a half marathon. No blisters, no problems. Socks, save. All right, so I told you this section was coming. It's now time to talk about your running trainers. These are your daily trainers, not race shoes. We're talking daily trainers right now. And for me, this is the #1 place to splurge in your running apparel gear journey, right? To make running enjoyable, you have to be comfortable, and your body has to be able to put up with the wear and tear that running is, right? It's hard on our knees, our legs, our bodies, but a good pair of running shoes is gonna drastically improve your wear and tear on your body. A good pair of running shoes will make all the difference for your running journey as a whole, and here's why. If you're comfortable and you feel good during a run because you have good padding and the shoe fits well and it's not causing blisters and discomfort, you're gonna be more likely to keep running because it feels good to run. It doesn't feel painful or uncomfortable. And then you're gonna get consistent. And when you get consistent running, that's how you get faster and you get able to go further. So a good pair of shoes, by that logic, means you will be faster and can run further. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I truly believe that. Lately, there have been a lot of really cool advancements in shoe tech, from carbon fiber plating to different foams. And we'll get into some more of this during the race shoe portion of this video, which is coming up in just a second. But for daily trainers, getting a really high quality foam in your shoe and one that fits really well and is comfortable and hugs your foot just right is immensely important. And I would not save $30 to get a less comfortable pair of shoes. I would spend and splurge to get the perfect daily trainer. And that's what I did here with these New Balance SE Trainer V3s. Love these things. Not sponsored, but just absolutely love these things. If you can afford them, well worth your money. Next up, we're gonna talk about the fabled race shoe. And you might notice I have nothing to show for you because in my mind, this is something you should absolutely skip. I know, it's a hot take, especially in today's social media world where everyone wants to show off their Alpha Flies and their whatever. They want to show you their really cool fancy running shoes that's $300, $400, $500. Skip it. And here's why. And I'm gonna look at my phone for this one because I wanna get these stats correct. So a study published by the Journal of Applied Physiology found that the finishing times for male runners who are like professional runners wearing carbon plated shoes were 2% faster on average. And that equated to 2 minutes and 48 seconds faster finish times. For females, they found they were 2.6% faster, or shaving off 4 minutes and 18 seconds. So that's professional runners. So let's look at the average person running a marathon. And for the average non-world-class runners, they found that you were on average 0.8% faster, or 1 minute and 2 seconds faster with carbon plated shoes for males. And for women, that was 3 minutes and 42 seconds faster on a marathon. Now, I don't know about you guys, but shaving off 2 to 5, say even 10 minutes off my marathon time is not gonna make any difference. It might move me up 3 places in the overall finish, but going from 100th to 97th makes no difference to me. So I don't see the value of paying $300, $400, $500 for shoes to get 10 minutes faster. The math ain't there. So for me, absolutely skip the race day shoes. They look cool on social media, but beyond that, they're just overpriced and don't perform. All right, so next up we have the running sunglasses. Now, one of the things I hate the most about running in the summer is when you're just getting blasted with sunlight and you're having to squint while you run, and it gives me a headache, it makes me uncomfortable, and just not an enjoyable experience. And I want my runs to be enjoyable. But the one thing I hate actually more than that is when you put on a pair of sunglasses to try to fight the squinting and the bright sun rays, and having them bounce around and constantly like slipping down your nose, and you have to push them back up. Like, that just frustrates the heck out of me, and I can't stand that. Luckily, these shades here don't slip, don't slide, they block out the sun, they're polarized, and get this, they cost $25 or $35. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good pair of running sunglasses. I will sing the praises of Gooder sunglasses all day long. They're cheap, they're high quality, they are durable, and like I said, $25 to $35. They are an insane value. So I truly do not understand how people are spending hundreds of dollars on Oakleys or other like name brand sunglasses when you can get the same styles and performance from $25 to $35. Save on sunglasses, look at Gooder, they're on Amazon, they're all over the place. This isn't an ad, I don't mean to make an ad, but I truly just absolutely love these sunglasses and cannot sing their praises enough. Save on sunglasses. All right, next up we have to talk about running watches. I love my running watch. I run with an Apple Watch, I absolutely love it. I love to track my metrics, my distance. I love to watch my performance improve throughout a training block as I prepare for my next race. Like, I dive into that stuff. I geek out about the stats. But here's the hard truth. Even the most basic watches these days can do the basics really well. Both the expensive and the cheap watches can provide you with accurate distance measurements. They can track your heart rate really well. They can tell you your cadence, your splits, your lap times. They can do what you need them to do really well, even if they're cheap. So the question you have to ask is, do you really want to spend a lot more money for fancy metrics like ground contact time? Like the metrics that track things that you really can't do anything about. You just you learn something new about yourself, that maybe you touch the ground for a little bit longer with your left leg than your right leg. I don't know what to do with that. Cool, I know it now, but what do I do with that metric? And that's why for me, I tend to want to save on my running watch. And you're probably thinking, yeah, well, you're wearing an Apple Watch. And you're not wrong, but I'm wearing an Apple Watch SE, which is the $250 running watch as opposed to like the Ultra, the $700-800 running watch. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm lacking any features or missing out on any key data about myself by buying the cheap model over the expensive model. So for me, running watches are still a save category item for runners. Get one. I think you absolutely need one, but you don't need to get the premium top of the line option. Honestly, the basic ones do everything you need perfectly well. Save a little cash. Next up on our list, we have gloves. For me, gloves have to do two things and two things only. They need to keep my hands warm, which all gloves pretty much can do. And the second thing is they need to have tech-enabled fingers so that I can adjust the song or play with my watch during my run without having to take my gloves off and start freezing my hand off just to change the song or update my lap or whatever. So those are the two things I need. And because those are the only two things I'm looking for in gloves, I went to Target and got these all-in-motion gloves for like 15 bucks. And they are fantastic. They're fleece lined, so they're plenty warm to keep my hands from just freezing as I'm trucking through the winter here in Wisconsin. They have the tech fingers so I can update my phone, my watch, whatever I need without, again, taking my hands out and freezing. And because they do those two requirements really well, I don't see any need to splurge for $50, $60, $70, $80 gloves that I see some people wearing on social media. I've seen people say, oh, well, you need these big fancy gloves because they keep your hands warm. If my hands start getting cold with these gloves on, I honestly just put a pair of liner gloves underneath it, double up on gloves, and I'm good to go. And my two pairs of gloves cost $30. Your one pair of big, fancy, cool social media looking gloves are $50, $60, $70, $80, $100. Saving gloves. All right, and our last item on this list is outerwear. So I used to think outerwear was something where you would just wear your old college hoodies and you'd be fine and you could save a ton of money. And then for Christmas, my wife got me a running specific jacket. And this changed my opinion entirely. And now I believe you should splurge on your outerwear. And there's a couple main reasons why that converted me. Number one, they are built to retain heat and provide wind protection where it matters, while also being breathable in the areas that count and moisture wicking all the way around. Two, reflectiveness. Didn't think I would care. It's very nice to have reflective features in winter when you're probably running in the dark. At least where I live in Wisconsin, you're definitely running in the dark. Number three, it's warm without being bulky. It's still nice and form-fitting, so you don't feel like you're just running with a ton of clothes on. And it's got pockets for your gels, for your phone, for whatever you might need to bring on your run. And for me, the nice thing about outerwear is you only have to buy 1 or 2 jackets to get through the entire fall, winter, spring season. You can rotate them, you can wear them multiple times without washing them, at least I do. So you can splurge on a couple without completely breaking the bank. So I think outerwear should definitely splurge 1 or 2 nice jackets. All right, so there you have it. That is my list of what you should save your money on, what you should absolutely skip, race shoes, and what you should splurge on to get the most out of your dollars and make your running experience as good as possible. Let me know down in the comments if you think I made a mistake with what you should save, splurge, or skip. Try to convince me that I'm wrong. I would love to hear it. And until next time, happy running.